All right, friends, so we are going to do a fun drawing today of a bear in an ugly sweater. I know, so silly, right? So fun. So let's get out our, we should have gotten 2 pieces of paper with this project. One is a piece of construction paper, and then the other is a piece of watercolor paper, because that's gonna be our background. We're gonna draw our bear on our construction paper. We're gonna trace it, so you need your pencil, and maybe you wanna get out your eraser too, in case. And then you're also gonna want your Sharpie, okie doke. And we are going to draw our bear. We're gonna outline it in Sharpie. We're gonna cut it out. We're gonna do a beautiful background with our watercolor paper, with our watercolor paints. And then when it's dry, we'll glue our bear on top of our watercolor paper. So this is kind of lots of different parts to this project. This could take you all week, and that's fine. Take your time with this, have fun with it, all right? So let's start out. We are going to start out by drawing our bear, and we're gonna start by drawing his face, his head. It's gonna be on the upper part of our picture here. So I'm gonna start out just with a little triangle, upside down triangle. All right, and that's his nose. So simple. Then I'm gonna come down with a little anchor to make his mouth, okay? From there, we're gonna go around, make a little half rainbow, and then a round little belly. And that's our little muzzle of our polar bear, okie doke. We're gonna make some eyes here. Just 2 little circles, and we'll use our Sharpies to fill them in a little bit, okay? Now, here's easy peasy lemon squeezy part. We're gonna make another rainbow coming around here to be the head of our bear. And then on either side, we'll add some ears. 1, 2. And then we can add the inside of the ears too, if we want. Real light. Okie doke. So here's the great thing about when we draw first with our pencil, we'll go over it with a Sharpie, and then we can use our erasers to kind of like spread them, kind of erase the pencil marks, and you never even see it. So now it's time to make the sweater. So we're gonna round off the head of our bear, and then real easy, right off the edge of both sides are the shoulders, and then the sweater's down here. So let's just make some lines, because this is going to be not just any sweater, it's gonna be an ugly sweater. So we're gonna make some stripes. You can make as many stripes as you want, okay? And from there, we can make some designs on our sweaters. I'm gonna do a zigzag on this first row, and then I'm going to do some arrows. But you can do whatever you want. You can draw trees, you can draw hearts. I think I'll do hearts on this one, because we're gonna color these in after we Sharpie it. All right, so there we go. And I'm gonna make these look like real arrows, make a little. There we go. But you can do whatever you want with the doodles in this part, okay, friends? So there we go, and I think I'll add some circles here so we can color those different. There we go, I love it. I love it. So let's add some detail. Let's add some detail. The first thing I'm gonna do, I gotta get my eraser out, because I want to erase this space between where the ears and the head meet. So I'm gonna erase that so it looks like one line that went up and around, but it's just easier for me to draw the ears that way. That's what an eraser is for, okay? Now, here's the fun part with our Sharpie. What we're going to do, we're going to start out, we're going to color in that nose. Okay. Let's color in our nose. And let's color in our mouth. And now let's add some whisker dots with the point of our Sharpie. Okay, yeah, let's add some whisker dots right there. All right. Now, we are not going to color around this. What we're going to do, let's do our eyes first. Let's color in our eyes. And I'm going to leave a little bit of a white space so it gives a little bit of a feeling that there's some light reflecting off of the eyeball there. Okay, so we left some white. So now from here, I'm going to start adding fur lines, what looks like hair. And I'm going to go around just like that. Now you can do this with your pencils first too, friends, if you want. And you just start adding in all the little lines for the fur. I'm going to come up here and go around my ears. Okay, now before I do anything else, let's go ahead and outline our bear. We're going to go the outside of him. Okay, I'm going around the outside. And you can see I'm not perfectly on my pencil marks, and that's okay because I'll show you what we're going to do with that. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the lines of my sweater. Do my best, but it's okay if I come off of the pencil marks because we've got our handy dandy eraser, don't we? I'm gonna go around the edge here of the bear's face. Go around my circles that I made. Finish off these lines. I'm gonna go around my hearts. All right. And our arrows. All right, friends. So whatever design you made, that's what you are going to be tracing with your black Sharpie. Okay. There we go. All right, so let's go back up here and let's get our fur lines going. So we're going to finish. I'm going to go all the way around the muzzle. I didn't outline that part, remember? And you're just going to keep going with the hair with your bristles. How fun is this? Now, I think that my little paper that I put in with your project, it said polar bear, but this could be any bear because as soon as we're done with this, friends, we are going to use whatever coloring tools you want. You can use your markers, you can use your color pencils, you can use your crayons, and you're gonna color in the sweater, and you can color in your bear too if you want. If you want to make him a brown bear, then you can use brown. But before you do any of that, the last thing we need to do is we need to get our eraser out, and we need to erase that very last bit of the muzzle line, the pencil lines with the muzzle, and any extra lines that you did not go around or that you kind of got off of your marker, which is fine. That's why I said it doesn't matter if you don't trace it perfectly, because look what we can do. We can erase it. And basically we just made our own coloring page, which how fun is that? Oh, Miss Suzanne's noticing something that I did not add part of this one arrow, so I'll have to fix that. All right, so I'm all covered with eraser. There we go. So now, friends, it's up to you. Let me add this little part here. So now, friends, it's up to you to color this in, all right? So you can use your, like I said, color pencils would be really cool. Markers would look really nice. And you can just go through here and start filling in and coloring in your spaces. All right, how fun is that? And so that's the first part of our project here. It's the bear, all right? So from here, after you get this all colored in however you want, so take your time, turn off the video for a little bit and color and enjoy. After that, my friends, grab those scissors and you are going to cut out the bear, just around the outside of your bear. Okay. So we'll cut our bear out and then we'll set this little guy aside because now it's time for us to create the background of our picture. And like I said, that's where our watercolor comes in. So just like we did with our project for when we looking out the window, you are gonna do a background. So I suggest first though that you get this bear done and you cut him out. You cut out your bear, him or her, it could be a girl bear too. You cut out the bear and then get out that watercolor paper and see how your bear fits on the watercolor paper. Okay, so see how he's gonna fit on there. So you can see, I can see now, this is all the part of the watercolor paper that's gonna be seen. So I'm not gonna spend a bunch of time making a little amazing things on this part of my background if it's gonna be covered up by the bear. So I think I'm just gonna do stripes with my watercolors and I'll have a striped background. And it'll look so cool then when I put my bear on the back. And I think too, I'm gonna use really bright colors. I'm gonna try to use my brights. So I'll get out my water here. I think I'm gonna start with some reds and just do some red stripes. And I could do a pattern on this too, couldn't I, friends? I could do red and then the next color that I want, or I could do a rainbow. If I did red, my next color would be orange, wouldn't it? And I want to get to the very edges of my watercolor. I'm going to move this black paper out of the way, friends, so I want to get to the very edges of my watercolor, of my paper here. So it's okay if I go off. That's why I have this white paper underneath. And then I can make my stripes. Like a rainbow if I want, but you friends can do whatever pattern you want. And then after you have your watercolor background all created, then you'll just take your bear and glue him on top of it for his background. My gosh, it's gonna be so cool. So there's your bear in his ugly sweater. And this can be colored however you want, and then glue it onto your watercolor background. What do you think? This is like kind of a long project, but I think it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be very creative. So enjoy, my friends, and make sure you send pictures. Okie dokie, lovey dovey's. I hope you had fun with this one. We'll see each other soon.